Welcome to our new video. Today, it's all about the Suzuki Intruder VS700. We'll take a look at what makes this cruiser special, where it really shines, and what you should definitely check before buying one. The VS700 isn't just any beginner chopper. It's a model with its own story, a distinct ride feel, and a few typical quirks you'll want to know about. We'll cover the tech, the design, everyday usability, known weak spots, and how well the Intruder lends itself to customization. We'll also clear up who it still makes sense for today as a true youngtimer, and when you might be better off looking for a VS750 or another cruiser instead. One quick detail up front, you can often spot these bikes right away by the 19-inch front wheel and the shaft drive, both of which shape the look and the character. Presented by Motorize, your go-to source for new and used spare parts. The Intruder VS700 is a product of its time, and a direct result of U.S. tariff policy in the 1980s. Suzuki launched it in 1985 as a clever tariff buster. Instead of going over 750cc, the V-twin stayed at 699cc to dodge import penalties. Technically, this was no cut-down budget bike, but a full-fledged cruiser with a liquid-cooled 45-degree V-twin, dual overhead camshafts, and shaft drive. Another hallmark of the early Intruder generation is the double cradle frame, which puts the engine front and center. Once the rules eased, the VS750 quickly followed with more displacement and more low-end punch. That's exactly why the VS700 is so interesting today. It's rare, firmly rooted in its era, and stands as a distinctive transitional model with real collector appeal. At the heart of the Suzuki Intruder VS700 is a liquid-cooled 45-degree V-twin, displacing 699 cc. Each cylinder gets 4 valves and twin overhead camshafts, fed by 2 carburetors, making this engine surprisingly eager to rev for a cruiser. Depending on market and model year, output sits roughly around 50 horsepower, paired with a 5-speed gearbox. A signature Intruder feature is the shaft drive. Low maintenance, no chain lube, but you do feel a bit of drivetrain reaction when rolling on and off the throttle. Up front, there's a conventional telescopic fork with twin shocks at the rear. Braking is often a single front disc and a rear drum. Typical for the model are the 19-inch front wheel and the low seat height of around 700 millimeters, both of which make it feel immediately approachable. Bitte sende den deutschen Voice-over-Text für Szene 6, fehlt nach Original, dann übersetze ich ihn ins Englische. Visually, the Intruder VS700 is a classic Japanese cruiser with an American vibe. Long, low, and dripping with chrome. The engine is deliberately put on display. The 45-degree V-twin sits proudly in the frame, flanked by side-mounted exhausts that stretch the bike's lines toward the rear. A standout detail on many versions is the cast wheels with that unmistakable 80s look, paired with a 19-inch front wheel. Ergonomically, you sit very low, around 700 millimeters, and more in the bike than on top of it. The foot pegs are set far forward and the bars are noticeably pulled back. Easy on knees and hips, though on longer rides your lower back may have to do more work. The slim tank waist is a real plus, giving shorter riders a confident footing. The passenger seat, on the other hand, feels more like a short-hop solution. In everyday riding, the Suzuki Intruder VS700 feels more nimble than its cruiser looks would suggest. The V-twin pulls cleanly, runs smoothly, and suits both city traffic and relaxed backroad cruising. The 19-inch front wheel keeps it steady in a straight line, yet it still doesn't feel sluggish when you tip it into a turn. On rough roads, though, the comfort-focused suspension makes itself known. The telescopic fork and rear shocks are softly sprung, so expansion joints and bumps come through clearly. As with most cruisers, you'll touch down the foot pegs fairly early if you push the lean angle. Less a flaw than part of the package. The shaft drive is a real plus for daily use, thanks to its low maintenance. Less pleasant. Routine jobs like getting to the airbox can be fiddly, and after long periods of sitting, the carbs often act up.